Mr. Speaker, do you believe that markets are now pricing a Trump presidency?
Yes and no for two reasons. This presidential election, nobody in their life that's living today have ever seen anything like this in America. We went from a sitting president pulling out, selecting somebody who didn't run, to 2 assassination attempts, to thinking President Trump had it already wrapped up, and then thinking he was losing. And if you watched what he did yesterday, he made French fries at McDonald's, he did a drive-through, he went to a football game, and I was texting him an hour before I walked down here. The guy never sleeps. But let me lay out, because you're all highly intelligent, you all follow markets, what is this presidency going to be like? And who's going to win? It's not just the president, it's the Senate and the House. We have never been this close in swing for all three. Now, if you look at the last presidential election, Biden won with 82 million votes. But in America, we don't elect presidents by popular votes. It's electoral college. In reality, Biden did not win by that large a margin. He actually won by 48,918 votes. So if you think about it, less than 50,000 people out of more than 150 million voting decided this election. If you take the polls for where they were 4 years ago and 8 years, Kamala Harris is way behind in that predicament. Now, if you look purely by electoral college, people would say, where are all these states going to play? This is the only state you want to watch on election night, Pennsylvania. If President Trump carries exactly the same states that he carried last time, and he picks up Georgia and Pennsylvania, he's at 270. He doesn't need the South. He doesn't need Arizona, the Southwest, or Nevada. Now, the challenge that we have, Kamala has done a couple things rather well. She raised a lot of money. But in a normal presidential election, you'd be playing in 10 swing states. You're not now, so money isn't as big as advantage. Secondly, if you look at the issues that drive people, economics is one. Even though the market is up, we had inflation like we never had before. We have affordability problems, and there's enough contrast between Trump's being 4 years ago and now, so Trump leads economically. We have an immigration problem because of the border. There's a challenge for Kamala Harris, the vice president, because she was put in charge. They shifted and changed policies now, but Trump overwhelmingly wins that president. There is a foreign policy discussion in America, and it's kind of drilling as a tie, but Trump gets a little more because he looks a little more defined in his positions. Then we have another issue in America. Supreme Court decided when it came to abortion, Kamala wins that overwhelmingly. In elections in America, women have a higher propensity of population of voting than men, so there'll be about 52% of the electorate will be women. There are a couple states that put initiatives on the ballot about abortion. That drives and overwhelmingly wins, even in Republican areas. So if it comes down to it, if the election was today, this is the poll I would look at. Don't look at who you're going to vote for, Trump or Kamala, because Trump always gets under percentage there. Gallup does this poll that they do for the last normal decades. They ask this question: which party do you identify with, Democrat or Republican? For the first time in history, Republicans won that poll, 48 to 45. You can look at it, direct correlates to the difference between the two when Democrats would win the presidency. It had a second question: who's best to solve the problem? Republicans won that. So the environment is better for Republicans, but Trump is not playing, he should be winning by a larger margin. The last thing I would look at is demographics and ethnic breakdown in America. It is very hard for Kamala to win because she's only winning women equal to where Biden was. But Trump is winning 41% of the Hispanic vote and more than 16% of the black vote in America. That is a large number. Anytime a Republican gets more than 13, and the modern history Republican got the largest black vote was Richard Nixon. And he's driving with men, and he has momentum right now. So if the election was today, I give Trump the advantage and higher than 270. Republicans will win the Senate, it'll be tight, and the House is a toss-up right now. Whoever wins it will only have a small majority.